Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial of mathematics. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to find the 5-number summary of a odd data set. And so again, the 5-number summary is just the 5 value numbers that we need to have to be able to find our box plot or to be able to make one. So those 5 numbers are right here on the side, and again those 5 numbers, those include the lowest value, the lower quartile, which we call our first quartile, also known as Q1, our median, which is our middle quartile, the very middle, or 50 cents mark, and that's we also call that our second quartile, or Q2. Our upper quartile, which is our third quartile, we also call it Q3. And then finally, the greatest value, or the maximum value of our list, and that's the last value. So if you see right here, I have them listed right here, and they're color-coded, so we're going to find them in the order of steps that you see right here. So first, what do we always do when we have a list of data? We always first order it from least to greatest. That is called ascending order. So let's do that now. So we're going to list it in ascending order. So I see 2, 3, 3. I see 1, 4. I see 1, 5. And I'm marking them off as I go, so I keep good bookkeeping of my numbers. I have 3 7s. So I just want to keep organized. I have 2 8s. And I have 1 10. So now, if I count these correctly, I should have the same amount of numbers as the beginning number. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. So we did it correctly. And again, the reason why this is odd is because there's an odd amount of numbers. 11 is an odd number. All right, so we have done our first step. Now we're going to find the median. So median is green. I'm going to change my color to green. And so again, we're just finding the center of the data. So you can do it with your fingers, or you can cross up the lowest value and then the highest value, and you keep crossing them out until you find those middle numbers. So let's do that. So 2 and 10, 3 and 8, 3 and 8, 4 and 7, 5 and 7. So my very middle number is 7. So that is my Q2, or my median. Again, this is median. My median is Q2. So we have done step 2. Now for our third step, we're going to find the lower quartile. So again, the quartiles, they're just the quarter marks of the data. It is where the lower quartile is the first quarter, and then the upper quartile, or third quartile, is the third quarter. So all you need to worry about is the data that is below this number. Now you got to be careful. Do not include the middle median number in this data set, because that's not going to give you the right quartile. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to move on to Q1, and we're going to find where Q1 is. That's our next step. Find the lower quartile. So again, what I'm saying is, when you're focusing on the lower half of the data, we're only including these numbers right here under pink, above the pink. And so you're not including the middle number. Do not include the middle number. It is not going to be accurate then. So I'm just going to rewrite these in pink. 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find my median again, and that's going to be my lower quartile, my Q1. I'm going to cross them out, and then in the middle I find 3. So 3 is my lower quartile. Again, you are not including that 7, that middle number. The only time you include a number that's in the middle is if you have an even data set where there's 2 numbers in the very middle. Then you have to choose the one on the left to go with the left side, and the one on the right to go to the right side. So be very careful. Again, this is an odd data set. Now let's go ahead and do Q3, which is orange. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm finding the median of the upper half of the data. So again, I'm going to ignore that 7. I'm going to only worry about these numbers. I'm going to write them again. 7, 7, 8, 8, and 10. If you notice, I did not include that first 7. I'm only including these 2 7s. So again, don't get confused. Just use the data that is above it and below it for the lower and the upper quartiles. Now let's find our median again. 7 and 10, we're going to cross those out. Again, you can use your fingers. You could have done 7, 10, and then 7, 8 with your fingers, and your middle number will be 8. Now we're going to finally find the last 2 numbers that we have to find. And so the last step, after you do step 3 and 4, finding our lower quartile and upper quartile, we're now going to find our lowest and greatest values. And those are our minimum and our maximum. And those are the easiest ones to find. So I'm going to do my minimum in blue. And so it's really straightforward as long as you're doing it with the list that you have in ascending order. So now if I was to do it with the first one, it's not going to be correct. Because if I pick 2 as my first number, that's not necessarily correct. It's not in ascending order. If I was to pick 7 right here, it would not be correct. I have to have one that is listed from ascending order, which is least to greatest. Again, least to greatest. I have to have a number or my data listed like that. So now my minimum. It's just the first value. 2 is my minimum. My maximum is the largest value. I'm going to change it to purple. So my largest value is my maximum, and that's right here in the very far right. 10 is my maximum. So that's how you find your 5-number summary. I hope this helped you out, and I hope this will make you understand it a little bit better. Now, I'm going to show you again how quartiles work, but with quarters. So the way I like to think of quartile, core, the Q-U-A-R, if I show you that on the screen, so Q-U-A-R, that word just means 4. So if we think of a dollar, we have 4 quarters. If you think of a quadrant, we have usually 4 quadrants. So it just means 4 quarters. So let's mark our quartiles on our data set where we found them. So let's do our first quarter, our 25 cents mark. So if you go to your first quartile, which was 3, we got it approximately right here at that 3, it's right here. Our first quarter right there, that is our 25 cents mark. And then we're going to copy again, and we're going to paste another quarter. Our second quarter, or our 50 cents mark, is at 7. That will be right here. I'm just placing them above this list right here. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this quarter. And so that will be Q3, which is 8. I'm going to put it above the 8. It was the first 8, so my 75 cents mark is right there. And then usually you have a dollar. So your dollar will be the maximum, or Q4. We don't call the maximum Q4, but it can be called Q4. So if you notice, your data is actually divided into 4 equal parts. So I'm just going to write red on here. This is my Q1. This is my Q1 quarter, my 25 cents mark. My Q2, or my median. My Q3, and my Q4. And so that's just an analogy to help you understand it a little bit better. All right. So hopefully you understand how to do the 5-number summary for an odd data set. And so make sure to watch the even data set as well, so you know how to do both of them. All right. I hope this helped you out, and I look forward to seeing you in class. Have a great day.